Unmute. Fine. So we have to proceed with war at sea, right? So yeah. So in 1914, Germany started submarine warfare where they tried to sink each other's ships, and the main target, we had seen that. Just a second, I'll admit students. Any doubt up till now? Till then we'll clear the doubts. Any issues? Is everything clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Yes, all right. I'll just, yeah, fine. So yeah. So we had seen that Germany had built that Kiel Canal. The basic intention of building the Kiel Canal was that so that the German submarines could easily enter into North Sea and they could attack on the British warships. And the same plan was executed. In 1914, Germany started submarine warfare and they started attacking British warships, and all this started. So by 1917, the count of German U-boats was 140. So Germany had 140 U-boats, and these U-boats, 140 U-boats, were successful in destroying 30% of the world merchant ships. Okay, and the basic intention was to completely blockade Britain, because initially it was the strategy of Britain to completely block Germany so that the food and raw material and all the resources should not reach Germany, and Germany would starve out and ultimately get out of the war. Same thing now Germany did by attacking the British ships and ensured that to break the British blockade, and it was thinking that within 1 year Britain would be out of war with the help of this submarine warfare. Okay, so these U-boats by 1917 they started unrestricted attacks like Jo Ship Dikha attack, and this was across Atlantic. And the biggest mistake of Germany was that they didn't even leave civilian ships. Okay, so even they started, so usually during war civilian ships and all are not attacked. Okay, but then Germany continued attacking even the civilian ships, and the biggest mistake of Germany was that it attacked one such ship, Lusitania. And in that Lusitania, there were many passengers, but out of which more than 100 were American passengers. So unnecessarily, American passengers died in this attack, and that provoked America. So let us try to understand how America entered into war and what was the outcome of America's entry in the World War. Okay, so when we see America, America was generally sympathetic towards Britain. Why America was sympathetic towards Britain? We had already seen American Revolution, right? The origin of America is Great Britain. Who are Americans? By origin, these are British
Europeans
people.
only.
Yes, Europeans only. British people who came and who settled in America. So by blood, they are of the same race. So Americans were generally sympathetic towards Britain. Okay. Second thing, throughout the World War I, America earned a lot of money. So America was very smart in the sense इन्होंने कुछ भी they didn't involve in the war, but ये पूरे war में arms and ammunitions were provided by America to the allied countries. Okay, so allied powers को पूरा arms and ammunitions America provide कर रहा था, and America industrially developed during this World War I. So World War I also marks the rise of America, because America developed technologically, monetarily, that is financially. It was mainly during World War I. Not only this, what America did, अगर किसी country के पास पैसा नहीं है arms खरीदने के लिए, America gave loans also. Okay, so America literally gave many loans to European countries, the allied power countries, so that आप लोन लो एंड आप मेरे से ही आपके आर्म्स एंड एम्युनिशंस खरीदो. So America was now in a state of panic. The reason for panic was that Germany's submarine warfare. America thought that if Germany would win the war, and if the allied powers, American, whom America was supporting, are defeated, then America would be at loss. Why? Because who will repay the loans? America had completely financed the war, right? America ने इतना loans दिया था European countries को, तो America was out in a fear that if Germany won the war, it would become a big financial problem for America. And second thing, Germany would pose as a biggest rival to America. So as a result, American के जो president है Woodrow Wilson, okay, initially he was like, we will be neutral, we will be just making money. हमारा एक ही मकसद रहेगा पैसा कमाने का and to develop America. That was the initial intention. But as I mentioned, in 1916, the biggest mistake of Germany का was that Germany का जो U-boat था, it sunk a British ship Lusitania. It had 1153 passengers, and out of which 128 were Americans. So up till now, America का intention was not to enter into war. They were in a dicey state. But this particular incident provoked America, we need to enter into the war. One more thing, by the same time in 1917, Zimmermann telegram was revealed. According to the Zimmermann telegram, German officials, they were doing planning and plotting with Mexicans. Okay, so you know that Mexico country, it's in North America. So according to this, Germany said to Mexican officials that you support Germany in the World War I, and we will give you the US territories which we will be capturing. Okay, so this plan was revealed to Woodrow Wilson, Zimmermann telegram. This further strengthened his conviction that now too we need to enter into World War I. Iske baad, one more thing that was an immediate trigger for American entry was American steamship Aztec was torpedoed, was completely sunk and destroyed by German U-boat on 1st April 1917. And immediately 5 days later, American President Woodrow Wilson, he conducted a voting in the parliament, and ultimately the decision was taken that America is entering into war. And on 6th of April 1917, America declared war on Germany. So this is the way America entered into World War I. Clear with this? Any
Yes,
issues? All right, fine. So this is our ship Lusitania. Yeah. Now this entry, American entry, completely changed the course of war. Now why? Because America came with the new forces, with the new technology, better technology, and it was a fresh entry because itne saal se German forces are fighting, so they were tired, right? But now America aata hai, America came with new vigor, new enthusiasm, new technology, everything was fresh, the supplies were fresh, and that completely changed the course of war. So America joined Britain and France in this particular battle, and slowly and gradually they started targeting जर्मनी के अलाइज. ओके, सो बल्गारिया को पहले टारगेट किया, बल्गारिया ने हाथ उठा दिए, बल्गारिया सरेंडर्ड. Now Turkey. So Turkey, as I mentioned, Turkey had a big victory in the Battle of Gallipoli, in which Indians were playing a very important role. But Turkey emerged to be victorious in that Battle of Gallipoli. And उस battle के commander थे Mustafa Kemal Pasha. So Mustafa Kemal Pasha was the commander of that Battle of Gallipoli, and then he decided to introduce dictatorship in Turkey. So all of a sudden, Turkey में revolution आता है. Mustafa Kemal Pasha brought dictatorship into Turkey. Originally, Ottoman sultans were there, and if you remember, during the same time, India में Khilafat movement was launched, right? In order to protect their Khalifa. The Ottoman Turks were considered to be Caliphs of the Islamic community, and Britain had captured the important territories of Turkey, especially the areas hosting the Makkah, Medina, the important religious places, right? So Britain, already Khilafat movement was launched in India, but now Gallipoli ki jo commander the Mustafa Kemal Pasha, he saw this as an opportunity. He seized the throne, completely turned Turkey into a dictator country, and Ottoman Turks, unka rule came to an end. And finally, Turkey also surrendered in October 1918. Okay, so first Bulgaria surrendered, then Turkey surrendered, and next we come to know that on 3rd November, even Austria-Hungary surrendered. Okay, now with this, now one by one, all the German allies surrendered. So finally, Germany had no option. Now there was a revolution in Germany where people were not in support of this war, like, and they wanted to bring a solution to this. Okay, and during this time frame, the biggest reason to go against the king was that Kaiser William II, जब उसे पता चल गया कि उसके सारे allies ने surrender कर दिया है, Kaiser William II, all of a sudden he started doing planning and plotting to go away from Germany, and he planned to fled away to Holland. And he actually, in the middle of the war, instead of supporting the country, when he saw that now the game is not in his favor, he fled away to Holland. So when he fled away to Holland, people were like, the king himself is not there. The one who dragged us to this war, he is not there. So ultimately, people formed a new government, and that government is called as Weimar Republic. Okay, so why it is called as Weimar Republic? Because the constitution of this government was written in a city called as Weimar, so it is called as the Weimar Republic. Ultimately, Germany became a republic, a parliamentary democracy, because the king fled away to Holland, and it was this government, Weimar Republic, which took a decision of armistice. Okay, so November 11, 1918 is the official date on which Germany agreed to sign armistice and surrendered in this World War I. Okay, so Kaiser William I fled away, Kaiser William II fled away, and it was the Weimar Republic, the newly formed government, who took the decision to come out of this war, to exit this war, and on November 11, 1918, Germany signed the treaty. Okay, so now the next important part of this war is the treaty, the outcome of the war. Okay, so in the previous session we saw the causes. As I mentioned that in UPSC, mainly causes and consequences are very much important. Okay, so causes we have covered. Today we have covered the major part, that is the course of the war. Okay, the next remaining part is the aftermaths, the consequences of the war, and the first important consequence is Treaty of Versailles. Okay, so why the name is Treaty of Versailles? If you remember Versailles Palace, France के Versailles Palace में Germany had conducted their coronation ceremony, and that was the biggest humiliation of French public, and they wanted to take the revenge. And as a result, France insisted that treaty to sign hoga France में, that the treaty would be signed in France only, in Versailles, and people of German Republic, ये जो Weimar Republic के लोग थे जिन्होंने surrender किया, they were brought in chains, they were tied with chains, they were brought in chains, they were made to kneel down. Okay, they were made to sit in front of the entire public of France, and they were compelled to say sorry for this war. So that was the official way with which France wanted to take the revenge of its humiliation, and as a result, the treaty is Treaty of Versailles. So Treaty of Versailles is, just a second. Yeah. So Treaty of Versailles is considered to be the one which sowed the seeds of World War II. Okay, so this particular part is relevant even for World War II, because this treaty is the treaty that put entire blame on Germany, and that escalated World War II. Okay, so we will be covering this treaty in detail in the upcoming session, because now we won't be able to complete this part. So in the upcoming session, that is on Friday, we will be completing Treaty of Versailles, a very important part, because this treaty this sowed the seeds of hatred, and that resulted into rise of Hitler and the beginning of World War II. So the next session, we will be completing the aftermaths of World War I, and we'll be proceeding with the Russian Revolution. Okay, if you have any doubts with respect to World War I, you may message me. Okay, so personally, you can just message me. Once World War I is completed, I will be sharing the PDF of this particular, whatever you are seeing on the screen. This PDF would be provided to you once once the final lecture on World War I is completed. Okay, chalo. Any doubts as of now? You have any doubts?